let's talk about this story about Prince Harry, who, if you didn't know recently, the Archetypes podcast has been pulled from Spotify. They've gotten rid of their $20 million contract. I've also heard that Meghan didn't get that Dior deal that they thought she was going to get. One of the podcasts that Prince Harry pitched to Spotify was about childhood trauma. Sounds like a blast, I guess, but
do you think he wanted to pitch that, or do you think Meghan made him pitch that?
That's the thing. I think Meghan probably said this is a great idea, but didn't realize that kind of stuff plays well for women. I don't think the people he suggests here is like, let's talk about the childhood drama of Donald Trump, Mark Zuckerberg, and Vladimir Putin. Like, I just don't think you're getting Zuckerberg, but not really. But none of those other guys are coming on your podcast to talk about trauma.
Look, if you look at Prince Harry, it's Prince Harry. You go, what's interesting about you and relatable? Yeah. And they're like, there's literally nothing. Yeah. There's nothing. So you go, okay, how about trauma? Everybody knows his trauma. Yeah. Everybody has trauma. And that's the closest thing they could come to that's interesting. Like, well, we could talk about the proper polo techniques. We could talk about how your real father had an affair with your mother. And
I think it's him trying to
in the 21st
stay
century.
relevant in geopolitics, right? Like, if he can interview these world leaders about trauma.
Who is going to...
But they don't actually interview. Because as we found out, Griffin Meghan, she actually had her staff actually interviewing the Serena Williams.
No. I think it was the lesser known guests.
Oh, the lesser known.
So it's even worse for her, where it's like she's cool. Like, if you're cool,
so you're a tier. Yeah, guest. Okay.
If you're just somebody like hawking a book, she sends her producer to interview you. But if you're Serena Williams or you're Mindy Kaling, then she interviews you
somebody
herself.
Who could invite you to vacation with them.
Yes, exactly.
Like, can you imagine Putin showing up and it's like, oh, this is my intern, Joe. He's going to be asking you some questions.
She'll be on a yacht with Oprah.
She'll
be on a yacht with the mother in Kansas who's got a keto cooking book.
I also saw they said, like, we're now officially going to stop talking about the royal family publicly. I'm like, just like you were supposed to like go and disappear from the general public, like the South Park skit, right? Like, leave us alone. We want to be in private, as they bother you about like being in private.
Well, did you see Camilla's diss where she actually, after the news came out about the Dior deal not happening from Meghan, she wore Dior. That's a queen move.
I love the pettiness.
Like, in some ways, Meghan Markle really unified the royal family because before they were anti-Camilla, but now they're all like, but we all don't like Meghan.
Exactly.
We can't agree on everything, but that girl's got it.
Like that. Maybe that's what they wanted her for. Maybe they're like, she could really bring they kind of like. Have you ever heard like people say that like if America ever wants to like reunite, like it has to be through outside forces. Somebody has to attack us, otherwise we're going to keep fighting each other. So we need
a
America.
Common enemy.
We need our own Meghan Markle here in America.
It's your mama versus my mama. You can say whatever you want about your mama. You're talking about my mama. I can say whatever I want. You can't. Who are you?
I love it. It's also like my mom loved Princess Diana. I never got the fascination with the royal families. But if you go to Newsweek, 3/4 of Newsweek's entertainment section is all just weird puff pieces about the royal family. And I'm like, who's reading this stuff? But it's still
I am. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, me too.
It must be a girl thing.
Well, the prince, Disney sold us on the princess concept that we'll all get married and we'll, might meet this prince and, happy ever and ever after. And, it does work out that way, but it doesn't end up a castle or,
And
riches.
Disney sold us on if you kiss a fish, everything goes good. It just gets me kicked out of pet stores.
No, mine is like, it's... Okay. Mine is the fascination with like the royalty. It's like everyone loves gossip. That's just the way life works. And in some ways, I'd rather be keeping up with the plot line of the royal family than whatever drama is happening with the Kardashians.
But you don't have to keep up with either, though.
But you have to keep up with something. You're wrong. You're a man. You don't understand.
That might be true. Like, it's like when people would talk about this stuff, I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I get the stuff with Meghan Markle because she's extremely unlikable. That's a bipartisan. There's no sexual base to that, right? Everyone can hate Meghan Markle. You don't have to be a guy. You don't have to be a girl. You don't have to be a pansexual. You don't have to be bisexual. You don't have to be they, them. You don't have to be anything. You can hate Meghan Markle.
She's just transparent, so everyone can see what she's doing. She's the only one in the world who can't see how people see her.
With the keeping up with the Kardashians, do you also keep up with the Jenners? Because like the most famous Kardashians are the two Jenner girls, right?
I know, it's crazy.
But are they on the show? I honestly don't. I met them once at the cable show out in Las Vegas. I have a picture on my Facebook page of me and them, and then the penicillin that they give you right afterwards for getting your picture taken with it. But I don't know. Are the Jenners part of it? Because they're like more famous than the Kardashians.
They were part as far as I know, and I think their like social media standing is bigger. But I think the Kardashian brand had already been there. Like, wait, I don't really. Again,
so they count as Kardashians?
Yeah, they get lumped in. They have the same look. And at one point, the momager had been like, because her married name
She's the one who released the porn, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Mom of the year.
Her after marrying whatever Jenner, she took that last name. But at one point, I remember she got these clips of her going viral because she was like, well, maybe I'll change my name back to Kardashian because it's just about being relevant.
I pitched earlier. I said, as long as we're race and gender swapping all these characters, I think that we should have a movie about Nazi Germany in which Caitlyn Jenner plays Hitler. I want Caitlyn Jenner to play Hitler in a movie. I think we can do that. I think that would work now.
Yeah.
Also, the
I don't
Kardashians.
think Caitlyn Jenner has the acting chops, but you know.
But Kim is acting. She's doing American Horror Story this
No.
season.
Being in movies does not make you an actor.
It's
Paris Hilton made a movie. That does not make her an actor. Not
Kim's
that
already
movie, a
been
different
in
movie.
movies. She's already had random roles in
Well,
sitcoms.
so is Paris
stuff like
Hilton.
that.
Paris
She's
Hilton
not
used to
good.
Usually she plays herself,
Yeah.
and she's terrible at it.
I watched
Which
I watched Veronica Mars
A
recently.
classic.
Yes, and Paris Hilton has a random episode of a TV show, an episode of Veronica Mars where she just plays bitchy blonde girl. So she didn't really have to act.
Yeah.
It was right in line with that.
right.
But at that time, you saw all sorts of cameos for. I think Nicole Richie appeared in a bunch of TV shows.
Well, they
at
had
that
that
time
show
too.
together.
Together, right?
If you really want to plot the downfall of pop culture, you go back to Paris Hilton's One Night in Paris porno, where 10 years earlier, she would have gone into hiding for a little bit, embarrassed. Instead, they're like, here, let me do public appearances. Let me do a TV show. She parlayed that into celebrity, and people went, hey, all you've got to do is get attention. It doesn't matter why. And the line between famous and infamous was obliterated, and now it's just about getting attention.
And do you know who was her personal assistant at that time?
No.
Kim Kardashian.
Ugh.
And then she did the same thing.
She learned everything.
The funny thing about it is
What's funny is Ray J was the famous guy in the Kim Kardashian video.
And
like,
now-
oh, look at this rapper
Yeah.
have sex with this unknown woman.
And now he's having like a third career comeback because he sells earphones.
we were just talking about that recently because Zion Williamson, the pro basketball player, a porn star named Mariah Mills is like threatening to like release a tape of them together. I'm like, nobody remembers Ray J. Nobody's gonna care in 10 years. Like it's like
That's
it
old
might
school.
hurt his endorsement deals for a while, but like
But he'll have to
eventually-
live off the $100 million he makes playing basketball.
Yeah,
Oh no,
well-
how will he ever survive?
Exactly. So it's like, but she like what she was doing was clearly illegal. Like she was trying to legitimately like say, if you re-sign this guy, I'm going to release this tape, and saying to him like leave or else, which is the definition of revenge porn.
Yeah.
And people are just like, it's the same thing that people say when guy students have relationships with female teachers. Like, I wish I was lucky enough to be propositioned by the lady trying to release my revenge porn. Why aren't any of the porn stars releasing my revenge porn tapes? People don't act because he's got a girlfriend and they're having a kid, and the lady was very upset about this, that he's now having a kid with someone else, probably because she thought he was gonna,
Because there's nothing like fidelity in the porn industry.
I'm going to go back
Exactly.
to my course. Everyone loves gossip. Brett's flavor of gossip is what's going on with professional athletes and porn stars.
I do
Yeah.
love I do find pro athlete gossip hilarious because there's much more. The stakes are higher for them because like team cohesion is extremely important. So a big reason why a big name player will not get re-signed is because you can be as good as you want, but if you cause problems in the locker room, that can still be grounds to get rid of you because you're just look at Stephon Marbury, look at a lot of these other athletes in the past, right? So it's like they have more consequences. It feels like there's more room for consequences to them than somebody like a Kardashian who they're just going to turn it into more money. They're not going to end up suffering from it. And I do think that you can plot not just the end of pop culture, but the end of like, that was back when the media used to actually push back on celebrities. Now the media, because now it's just the ally to all these celebrities, whereas back then they were in an adversarial relationship with the paparazzi. Now it's a tandem in which they work together to project themselves to the media. Like when Amber Heard went to report Johnny Depp for the bruise on her face, she called TMZ to let them know that she was coming in so that they could get a photo of her good side.
It's also the 24-hour content creation that constantly has to be made. So if you're actually willing to constantly make that content creation all the time for them and giving them scoops and photos and this latest breaking thing, they're willing to play along, I think.
But in the era of social media and your social media footprint mattering so much, it doesn't matter how you get the follows. It's that you get the follows. It doesn't matter why you have the eyeballs. It's that you get the eyeballs. Anybody can smear feces all over themselves and stand in the middle of an intersection yelling at cars that go by, and you'd get a big footprint. There was a time when you'd look at that and go, that guy needs help. Now people just film it and go, this is going to get me another 5,000 followers pretty easily.
The only place I've heard it mattering is in influencer marketing, because if you have, if you have 1 million people who follow you on Instagram or Twitter, that's good. It makes you look popular. But if you only have, 1% engaging with you, and even, 0.5% are convert into sales, then you are actually not a very successful influencer. You have a lot of followers, but brands don't want to work with you.
The fact that we live at a time when just some D-bag with an Instagram account can become a multi-millionaire with really providing nothing to society.
Well, I mean, it's still entertainment to a lot of those kids.
It's a testament to the greatness of capitalism that people, you don't need talent to get by.
What's with the Trad Wives videos? Have you...
Okay, I
don't understand.
I push back on it all the time. Look, it's a costume, dude. Like, I was like, when they're done recording that, they're like, get this itchy thing off me. I'm not wearing this floor-length gown the whole day. This thing isn't comfortable. I'm itching. I don't buy it most of the time, right? They're selling you something. They're selling you an image. It's kind of like the female version of the red pill. The guys who sell you the red pill podcast that tell you about how to behave. It's for the trad wives. It's just become another, like, when it becomes a product you can market, is it really all that traditional? Not really.
I think it depends on how you live it, right? Yeah. Like, if you're an authentic person and you're really into whatever you're preaching, fine. Okay, cool. I hope you have a successful time. But I think there are a certain number of people who are aware enough to pick up on a trend of any kind of enclave and then capitalize on that. And then they'll just say whatever seems good. It gets more and more extreme until you're sort of like, you are a caricature of whatever you initially
Eventually you have to set yourself on fire, because everything becomes, like Zion Williamson dating a porn star. You sit there and you go, why is he dating a porn star? I can tell you why he's dating a porn star. It's because he has had women throwing themselves at him his whole adult life, and probably in high school too, because you can't be 7 feet tall and really good at basketball, and people go, I wonder what he's going to be when he grows up. So it starts early, and you get accustomed and bored with normal. So then you need more, and you need more, and you can either take a chance with 3 strange women at a bar, or you've got this person who does it on film that will do just about anything all the time. And you go, you know what? This is a safer path. That's why you date a porn star. You can do something that normal people would recoil at and maybe would end up filing charges against you if you tried it with them, or calling the police in general and writing an expose on TMZ about it. But a porn star is like, you know what? I did this last Tuesday with 3 guys from Poughkeepsie. Let's do it. Like, so you that's where you get it. You become numb to normal, and you have to find the next thing.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.